Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated. A registered investment advisor and securities are offered through CFD Investments Incorporated. A registered broker-dealer, member FINRA and SIPC 2704 South Goyer Road, Kokomo, Indiana 46902. Phone number 765-453-9600. Neither CFD Investments Incorporated nor Creative Financial Designs Incorporated are associated with SmartVestor or the Dave Ramsey Organization. Neither SmartVestor nor the Dave Ramsey Organization recommend or make an endorsement for services under the SmartVestor program.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub, and I am excited to be here talking with you all today, and would love to invite you to stop by and see me anytime right there at Diamond Financial Group, located right beside the square and right beside Poets. Stop in and get a great cup of coffee and come over and sit down and visit with me. So, got a little bit of a pet peeve I wanted to talk to you all about today, and in fact, a couple of them, and it turns out I'm doing a show today solo. I don't have a guest on the show today, so it's just going to be you and me, and I hope you're all fine with that. But wanted to talk about a couple of different things. Praise God, I've had quite a few clients coming in here lately. I mean, a lot, actually. I have a backup of paperwork that is pretty significant, and that's a really, really good problem to have. It means I'm doing the right things, and people are sharing my information and coming by and seeing me, and I'm helping a lot of people with some debt issues. I'm helping some people, more on a Dave Ramsey side of things, if you will, as a local SmartVestor Pro. But of course, I have a lot of people that are coming to me with other investment issues. And so the first pet peeve that I want to talk to you about, and I know for some of you, if you're listeners of Dave Ramsey, you may be very familiar with what he refers to as a CD, which is normally called a certificate of deposit, which is a bank product, FDIC insured, normally up to $250,000, that kind of thing. And you can get bank CDs anywhere, I believe, from like 6 months all out to 5 or even 7 or 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. So, feel free to call and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm quite certain there's a lot of different options with CDs. Dave Ramsey refers to those, by the way, as certificates of depression. And so why would he say that? The main reason is that typically the interest rate that you get, the rate of return that you get off of a CD is often substantially lower than what you could get in other types of financial products. And some of those products are just as guaranteed and just as insured, just like the CD at a bank is insured by the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Company, which is a insurance company that is insuring that money. You can put your money in other products such as a MYGA, a multi-year guaranteed annuity, and you can do a 3-year or a 5-year or 7-year type of MYGA and typically get significantly better interest rates. I can tell you this last week, I helped a client go from a 1% CD that had matured, and they moved the money over to a MYGA getting 3.8%. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that is not the rate every single day. They can change from day to day. They can go up, they can go down, but they are typically significantly better than a CD rate. So if you're out there and you have CDs, or you have friends or family members that have CDs and they think they're the end-all be-all because they're guaranteed money and you get compounded interest for a set amount of time, I can give you that multi-year guaranteed annuity. It is a fixed annuity with a guaranteed rate of return for the entire time period, and that money is insured by the Tennessee Guarantee Association. And what is that, you may ask? It is basically an organization that every insurance company that does business in the state of Tennessee, and that's a lot of insurance companies, hundreds, if not over 1,000 insurance companies that do business in the state of Tennessee, to be able to be an insurance company in the state of Tennessee and do business here, you have to belong to that Guarantee Association. And what that association does is actually pulls a percentage of money from every insurance company to hold on, almost like in a bond, a significant amount of money that would be able to bail out a insurance company should, for example, Farm Bureau, if they went out of business, then all the other insurance companies would bail out all the carriers or the customers of Farm Bureau in that example. And by the way, I love Farm Bureau. I'm a customer, not expecting them to go out of business. So I was just using that as an example in this case. So I just want you to know that there are better options, in my opinion, as a investment advisor representative and broker-dealer agent that can actually make you, the client, a significant more amount of interest or rate of return that's just as guaranteed if you're willing to do business with an insurance company instead of a bank. Which, by the way, going back to the Great Depression, it's my belief that the insurance companies is what bailed out the banks and allow us to eventually crawl out of the Great Depression. Not to mention World War II actually was a help with helping that us recover from that horrible situation. So anyway, with all that being said, what I'm telling you is insurance companies, in my opinion, are typically just as or even more so reliable than the banks, and you can get a better rate of return than you would on a CD. So if you have that or know someone that does, please feel free to give me a call. So still got a little bit of time left, so I'm going to just go ahead and introduce my next topic and ask you to come back after the break to hear more about 401ks, 403bs, 457 plans. You got all those those are all different tax codes, and we're going to talk about some of those and specifically what to do when you leave a company where you had a 401k, for example, and happened to talk to a nurse this last week that had left her place of business and went somewhere else and had the TCRS, the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System, and was able to let her know, hey, you can roll that over, and we're going to talk more about that. After a word from my sponsors, I do want to take a quick moment to thank all of my sponsors. This show would not be possible without them. So to all of you that support and sponsor my show, please listen to their commercials. Go stop by and see them or throw them a phone call and just say, hey, I want you to know I heard you on Money in Motion. I heard you on Jason Murphy's show, and I really appreciate it because this show would not be possible without that. So I have a set of 5 good sponsors right now, and we'll be looking for new ones come November. So if you're interested, reach out and give me a call. But thank you for listening to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, right here on News Talk 1077 and 1400 The Hub.
Protecting your home or business is important to you. That's why you might invest in an advanced security system or make sure you have the strongest locks on the market. But what are you doing about the sun? That big yellow ball of fire is shooting UV rays through your windows that can fade furniture and increase your energy costs. Fortunately, the Window Tint Company in Cookeville can provide you with a championship-level solution, offering multiple lines of window film for any need. The Window Tint Company is the Upper Cumberland's expert when it comes to protecting your home or business from blinding glare or damaging UV rays. And you'll still be able to admire those beautiful Middle Tennessee sunrises and sunsets. When you're ready to protect your home or business from the sun, give Jason and Susie with the Window Tint Company a call at 931-510-0830. That's 931-510-0830. Visit CookevilleWindowTintCompany.com to learn more or request an estimate.
Exotic Tropicals, home of the healthy pet. Good common sense can lead to a favorable outcome when deciding when and where to spend your money. At Exotic Tropicals, they realize you can live without everything that is available at their pet shop. Thankfully, we live in a country and a community that allows us the opportunity to do more than just get by. Pets can enrich our lives in many ways, and Exotic Tropicals can help you care for your pets in a way that makes sense. sense. Exotic Tropical carries quality products that they have experience with and know how to use, and pets that are thoughtfully cared for to ensure your success. Stop by Exotic Tropicals today at 45 North Walnut Avenue right here in Cookeville, or give them a call at 931-528-1080. Exotic Tropicals, home of the healthy pet.
Just over 11 years ago, my wife and I went on our first date. We ended the evening by going to a little coffee shop here in Cookeville, just catty corner of the courthouse, named Poets. We sat down and enjoyed an amazing cup of coffee. We enjoyed the company with each other, getting to know each other. That ended up leading to us being married less than 6 months later and having been married for the last 10 years. It all started at Poets, right there, catty corner of the courthouse. For one of the best cups of coffee in Cookeville, I highly encourage you to stop by Poets on the Square or their other location on the north end of South Jefferson Avenue. Poets Coffee, a great place to take your next date or just enjoy a cup of coffee. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, right here on Money in Motion. I am your host from Diamond Financial Group, located right there on Broad Street, catty corner from the Square next to Poets. Stop by and get a great cup of coffee and then come over and see me. Would love to sit down and talk finance, answer any questions that you have. By the way, if you ever decide that you want to sit down and talk with me, it's not a situation where you are coming in and I'm going to try to sell you products. I not only have the heart of a teacher, but I actually have the certifications that I am a teacher, highly qualified in math, science, history, and language arts, and with a much greater emphasis in math, by the way, and decided years ago to use my math skills for good instead of evil. Instead of torturing sixth graders with math homework, I now help people build wealth. And speaking of my sixth graders that I did teach at Avery Trace Middle School back in the 12-13 school year, those sixth graders are now seniors in high school. It's amazing how time flies. So I want to throw a shout out to the class of 2019 and all those kiddos that aren't so kiddo-ish anymore. They're about to be adults and go out there and enter the world and enter the workforce and hopefully be productive members of society. So I invite any of you guys, especially if you are a past student of mine, to reach out to me. I would love to sit down and kind of give you some ABCDs or ABCs of finance and some things that you can't really teach sixth graders now as seniors in high school. It would be very valuable information. So, but I digress a little bit and want to go back to what I told you I was going to talk about before the break, and that is if you have left a company or corporation and you had a 401k or retirement plan with that old company and you've left that company, it is always a bad idea to leave your money with that company. No one is watching it. It's not being managed in most cases. And so if you come to me, I can show you how I do manage your money, how and why I would make a phone call telling you to go more conservative or more aggressive based on what your risk tolerance is, of course. And would love to help you out by doing what's called a direct rollover. That way you don't touch the money. It does not create a taxable event if you allow that money to go straight from the entity or that 401k or wherever it's at and straight into an IRA. You would do a direct rollover to do that, and then I would be able to manage your money. I want to let you all know now that that rollover, that IRA is not a investment. The IRA or a Roth IRA or even that 401k is simply a tax shelter. So I may have used this analogy on here before, but I'm going to do it again. And what I mean by a tax shelter is, so imagine you wanted to grow, instead of money, you wanted to grow beans or corn or plants or apple trees. You would probably in the wintertime want to protect those plants, those investments from the sun or taxes. So you would put that into a greenhouse. The greenhouse is not the investment. The greenhouse is not what grows. The greenhouse is simply protecting your plants from the cold weather, the wind, the elements, and allowing the sun and the right rays to come through and to allow those plants to grow and bear fruit and then to multiply. With that fruit, you have seeds. With those seeds, you can replant them. That would be in the case of interest or dividends. You can replant them, and then they grow into new plants or new trees, and that's called compounding interest. As one tree becomes 100 trees, and a dozen apples become thousands of apples, that is possible and protected from taxes because of that greenhouse, or what I mean here is because of that tax shelter, like that IRA or that Roth IRA. Now, in the case of a 401k or an IRA, that money is tax deferred. When you finally take the fruit out of the greenhouse, you will have to pay taxes on it, but as long as you leave it in there up until age 70 and a half, by the way, when the government's going to make you start taking some of the money out, you will pay taxes on it when you take the money out, but along the way it is tax deferred in those products, like I said, like a 401k, IRA type product. In a Roth IRA, however, that money is going to grow completely tax-free, and even when you take the fruit out and eat it and enjoy it and whatever you want to do, turn around and sell it, in that case, you do not have to pay taxes on that money that you are bringing out of a Roth IRA, as long as you've kept the interest in there for at least 5 years, and as long as you waited till after age 59 and a half to do that. You are limited on both an IRA and a Roth IRA to $5,500 per year that you're allowed to invest, and $6,500 a year called catch-up dollars starting age 50. On your 401k, you don't have those limitations like that, but typically we only recommend that you only meet the match in your 401k. So if your company has a 4 or 5 or 6% match, whether that match is a 25, 50, or 100% match, you definitely want to meet the match. You want to put in all the money that company is going to match, but not a penny more, because then you can invest and max out your Roth IRA next. So if you have money that has been out there sitting around and in some past company, and I've had several clients come in here lately that is the situation. They've had money sitting for years. In fact, some of them didn't even realize what the product was or what the tax shelter was that the money was sitting in, and they came to me. We were able to see what it was. In some cases, there was some good growth. In other cases, there was horrible growth and no management whatsoever. No one calling you like when 2008 hit. No one calling you when you realize 7 years later that the money has been in your 401k in a money market account, which is essentially cash. I had that situation, and now that person has now moved that money over into an IRA and into some investments where he's experiencing some pretty significant growth. So wanted to share those stories with you, and if you have any questions about any of that, come see me or call me at 646-4090. Again, that's 646-4090. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you next week. But thank you for listening. I'll be back again with some more information. We're going to talk a little bit about UTMAs and 529 plans, Coverdale plans, some of those college saving plans. I'm going to give you a little bit of investment advice on right back when we come right back after a word from my sponsors right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Hey, are you being bombarded by all those Medicare ads on TV or all that junk mail that you end up throwing in the trash can? Are you confused about all the plans and parts of Medicare, Medicare supplements? Why are there so many choices? Let me tell you, one size does not fit all. Don't let the stress overtake you, because it all can be so confusing. Mike and Julie Townsley of Diamond Financial Group, located at 228 East Broad Street, Suite 100 in Cookeville, right off the square, can explain it all to you and cut out all the confusion. They offer a free consultation, and they will explain all the changes to Medicare for 2019. They will help you pick out the plan that best fits you. They will help you understand the plans and parts of Medicare so that you don't have to worry about making the right choice. They service the insurance policies you choose through them. Give Mike and Julie a call at 931-646-4090.
Tucker Farms is the premier land clearing, property development, and excavation company of the Upper Cumberlands, based out of Livingston, Tennessee. We specialize in forestry mulching, site clearing, and prep for new construction. We provide general excavation such as excavation for foundations, power service entrances, septic systems, and water lines. Whether it's residential or commercial, Tucker Farms has the expertise to fulfill your property goals. Give us a call today at 931-260-1178 or find us on social media at Tucker Farms LLC or on our website at tuckerfarms.farm.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, right here on News Talk 1077 and 1400 The Hub. Thank you for listening to me. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, and I'm just so excited to be walking in the path that I believe God has set before me. He is blessing my business. He's blessing so many different activities and organizations that I'm involved with, such as the Christian Motorcyclist Association. If you are interested in being in a ministry that uses your motorcycle as a ministry tool and goes into some fairly target-rich environments and goes out there to help spread hope and joy and peace and comfort and love to some communities and to some people that want to do that. Using your motorcycle to do that is a great way to enjoy some amazing fellowship with a group of people like we have out there at the Christian Motorcyclist Association. We do meet every third Monday. I'm trying to get this straight in my head to make sure I tell you right, but every third Monday we meet at Logan's Roadhouse back in their garage area. Just a really convenient, great location that they let us use for free back there. Get some good food and have some good fellowship, pray over each other. And what we do is equip and prepare each other to go out into our mission fields wherever the Lord takes you is what that field is. And so that is a great way to do that. But that's one area in my life that God is really blessing right now. Also wanted to mention AMVETS, American Veterans, is another amazing organization. I happen to be the commander of Highland AMVETS, Post 44. We meet at the Veterans Memorial Building there at 90 East Spring Street across from Moogie's Barbecue, or just east of the big First Baptist Church between Spring and Broad there. But on the Spring side is where the Veterans Memorial Building is, and we meet the fourth Monday of every month. So if you're a veteran that is honorably discharged, that is the only stipulation. You can have served in any branch of the U.S. military, and as long as you served honorably, and it doesn't matter for how long, it can even be a general discharge under honorable conditions. But looking for veterans that want to help and serve other veterans, and if you know of a veteran in need, please reach out to us. And you can do that by calling my office, and I can help you out, or my cell phone, 252-0201. Again, that number is 252-0201 is my cell number. I don't care to give that out. I'm just trusting you all to use that number responsibly. Thank you very much. So, I did say I was going to talk a little bit about my recommendation for most people, and this is really just about everyone, is I actually prefer to use for a college savings type of account, I prefer to use an UTMA, UTMA, that stands for Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. And an UTMA is going to allow you to have a tax-efficient savings type of plan, and that's too detailed to go into right now with the 4 minutes I have left in this broadcast. And so stop by and see me if you're interested in learning more about that. But what it basically means is that money is going to grow tax efficiently, and for that youth, that minor that you're setting this up for, they're going to have money to use for college, or maybe a car, or maybe their first home, because if that minor, if your child, and I'm going to assume you have a remarkably smart child or grandchild and you're wanting to set up something that is going to grow for them over the course of their life, you can do that, and I can actually place that money in a myriad of different investments. So we'll talk about that when you come in. Again, that UTMA is basically like your greenhouse. It's more of a kind of a tax shelter and is going to help protect that money while it grows, and you would be the custodian, but it would be in the name of the child, the minor. And so that UTMA, though, does not have to be used for college. Now, you don't have to tell the child that. You can tell them that this is your college plan and your college fund, and that's what you're going to use it for. But you could also, maybe as they get older, tell them, hey, if you work really hard, you get college scholarships, academic or athletic or whatever types of scholarships, and there's many, many of those out there. If they work hard and get scholarships and they use maybe programs like Tennessee Promise and all these other amazing programs to help students get through their college career, then they can use that money for something else. Like I said, maybe buying that good used or experienced car so they can get back and forth to college and back and forth to work. But bring them in as they get older, and I will coach them. And if they end up having several $1,000s, we may even be able to, of course, when they start working, you have to have an earned income, but opening a Roth IRA with some of that money based on how much money they've actually earned from their jobs, and allow them to have a Roth IRA. And I've had a couple of younger people, age 17, 18, that were able to open a Roth at that age. And now, of course, if you're 17, you have to have a custodian until you turn 18. But that is a remarkable feat for an 18-year-old to actually have a couple of $1,000s, to have a job where they can claim, file taxes and show where they have an earned income, and then let that money grow tax-free from age 18 to 67 or 68. I mean, you're looking at so much amazing potential for compounding interest that it's amazing. The downside to a Coverdell plan or the 529 plans is they typically have to be used for college tuition. So that's why I don't necessarily recommend those. I'm assuming that you're going to have that brilliant, smart child that's going to take advice from their school counselors and do the things that they need to get scholarships and grants or whatever to get their college paid for, using Tennessee Promise and those types of tools. So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions or want to open an UTMA for your child or grandchild, niece or nephew, stop by and see me, and I can help you set that up, and we'll get that money growing. And in the meantime, though, I just really appreciate everybody listening. I'm finding out more and more. Had someone that threw a Facebook post my way this last week through Messenger, just saying, hey, I listened to your show. I really enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It kept me engaged, and I learned something. And man, that just means the world to me. It proves to me that more than my mom is listening to this show, other than my compliance ladies that have to check this for accuracy and make sure I'm not breaking any rules or laws or whatever when it comes to the SEC or FINRA. So Kelly and Cassie, appreciate you ladies so much. Thank all of you once again for listening. I am your host, and you've been listening to Money in Motion right here on News Talk 1077 and 1400 The Hub.
Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated. A registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD Investments Incorporated. A registered broker-dealer, member FINRA and SIPC 2704 South Goyer Road, Kokomo, Indiana 46902. Phone number 765-453-9600. Neither CFD Investments Incorporated nor Creative Financial Designs Incorporated are associated with SmartVestor or the Dave Ramsey Organization. Neither SmartVestor nor the Dave Ramsey Organization recommend or make an endorsement for services under the SmartVestor program.